It's game day, Utah fans. Welcome back into Utah Athletics. Bill Riley and Scott Mitchell will have the game for you tonight on the radio. But right now we bring you our game keys for this week. And Scott, everything begins with rivalry week. It's a little different than when you played because BYU, for the first time in the 100th meeting, they're meeting for the first time in the first game here tonight.
Yes, they are. And the most important thing for Utah is they have to match the intensity of BYU from the get-go. This is BYU's season. This is their Super Bowl. They have been talking about this game all offseason, all spring football, and they're going to come out with a bang. And Utah has to come out expecting an intensity, and they have to match it to start the game.
Well, that was very evident a year ago. They did not and got down 20 twice late in the third quarter last year. Game specific, what are some of the things you want to see Utah do tonight?
It's really important that Utah has to be explosive offensively. And we talk about this all the time. And the offense really needs to run through Zach Moss, but it has to go and score touchdowns and score points. BYU's defense, I don't believe, can keep up with the offense. And what BYU is going to try to do is they're going to try to slow this game down and try to keep it close. And if Utah can be explosive offensively, score a lot of points, this game won't even be close.
Well, the first couple of games over week 0 were pretty sloppy football games, the Miami and Florida game and obviously the Arizona and Hawaii game. How important is it to protect the football here tonight?
That's like breathing, Bill. I mean, seriously, you have to protect the football, and it's hard. It's hard to match that game tempo when you go through training camp, and so sometimes you're going to have some of those sloppy plays and some of those mistakes. This is a Utah team, though, that's very they're very seasoned. It's a very mature team. Most of the players come back offensively. Most of them come back defensively. So this shouldn't be a game where this team is a sloppy team, and that was another key to me was Utah needs to act like they're a top 10 team. You looked at, you talked about Florida and Miami in week 0. Florida did not look like a top 7 team. They're so much better than Miami, and they kind of played down to that competition. It's like, we want the bullseye on our chest. We know that everyone's coming for us, and we need to play like a top 10 team, and part of that is taking care of the football.
Well, one thing's for certain, there's been a lot of expectation placed on this Utah football team to have a special year. This rivalry has been very close in recent years, but the two times Utah's had special years, 2004 and 2008, Utah came out, took care of business, and crushed BYU. We'll see if they're able to do the same thing tonight.
Yeah, and defensively, the key, I think, and I believe they'll do it tonight. I really do, Bill. But the key is if Utah can stop BYU from running. BYU's the whole strength of their team is the offensive line. The strength of Utah's team is its defensive line. I mean, this is like two gladiators going at it. You got to love that matchup there. But if Utah can stop BYU with the run, it's going to be a long night for BYU.
Well, there you go, folks. Those are our game keys for tonight's matchup, the rivalry game from LaVell Edwards Stadium in Provo. You can listen on our flagship radio home, ESPN 700. You can also stream it at UtahUtes.com, TuneIn Radio, and SiriusXM. Scott, Tom, and I will be at LaVell Edwards Stadium for an 8:15 kick. For my partner, Scott Mitchell, I'm Bill Riley. We'll talk to you tonight from Provo. Go Utes.